this little area here because this is unfinished, but this will become the Australian area. This will become the African area, and then up here will be the Asian area, and then over here will be the African apes. And then over here we'll get the polar bears, of course, as well as gray seals. Maybe, I don't know. But this is the entrance. It's not complete yet, as you can tell by this area being totally empty. I'm going to put a gift shop there. But that was kind of boring, and I wanted to work with actual animals. Pretend this doesn't exist either. So I started right up in my North American area. So if you look over here, you can see this is supposed to be like an information center. I haven't done anything on the inside of it, as you can see. And I have to fill this in with forest. My idea is that I'm going to kind of take inspiration from the Bronx and just fill my zoo up with forest, stuff like that, to provide habitat for native wildlife in the middle of the city. So, as you can see there is our little area for the information center. And as you can see here, our first exhibit is the American Bison. So, the Bronx Zoo is my main inspiration behind this, having visited there in March. I made these nice little signs. I hope you guys like them. I have to actually put something on said signs, but I like that you can kind of get up close to the bison, but just don't touch that fence. It's electric, because we don't want people getting in the bison pen. We don't want bison charging the people and killing them. That would not be fun. But as you can see in here, here's our bison area. Here's our view of the people from the bison. I should have made just like an observation deck or something so that people aren't stopping in the middle of this path, because that kind of congests the whole area in here. But either way, if you head around here, you can see my sort of prize jewel of the North American area. I mean, the bison were fine. They were fine. But this exhibit isn't necessarily like the best bison exhibit that I've ever created, or even anywhere near the best bison exhibit I could possibly make. It kind of goes to show, just it's realistic. It's what you need to house these animals, nothing really more. But over here with the bears, I kind of tried to knock it out of the park with, again, a little bit of Bronx inspiration, a little bit of Woodland Park inspiration. As you can see here, we've got, you see the trees are blocking my view a little bit. I gotta get in guest mode or whatever. As you can see here, we've got, how many sows do we have? We have 3 sows and then 1 boar. Also, should I keep this area over here grass? I might just smooth it down and turn it to sand, because like, to be honest, that doesn't look very good. But either way, yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. But here are all of our bears. We got 4 cubs actually, which is crazy. And then you can see, let's just put it in play. Look at this dude. These guys, surprisingly, cannot actually get down there. I've trapped them up there with their hitbox, so they stay there and the guests can see them. May sound cruel, but that's just what I felt like doing, because the guest needs to be able to see them. How did he get up here? What? Bro, move down here somewhere. You do not belong up there. Anyways, here is one of our sow grizzlies. They made the grizzlies so fat, and I love it. And if you head around this way, okay, I haven't done all the foliage here. I'm gonna use the most foliage out of all of them on here, because it's getting more and more forested. I wanted to not use as many trees and stuff here with the bison to kind of show the prairie. But also, if I got rid of all of these trees, that would just show the entire grizzly bear exhibit. And I don't really want that, to be totally honest. So, actually, let's see what happens here. If I just get rid of a few trees. I don't know. expecting that. I might just duplicate this. Yes, that looks so much better. That looks so much better. It's so much more open, and people can actually like see into the bison exhibit, which is always good. Feel sort of the vibe of the prairie that I got going. I might just get rid of this tree too, like, to be honest, and then, I know I'm just turning this into another building site, but I do not want to leave it worse than I found it. So, as you can see here, change this a little, and then, okay, there. Anyways, I think this looks a little bit better, don't you guys? Because like you can kind of see into the bison exhibit. It gives a prairie feel. But when you head around here, it immediately becomes way more wooded. Which is interesting because grizzlies actually evolved to live on the plains, and most of their historic range was on the plains. But due to extensive hunting by man, they're no longer present in those areas. I believe I read somewhere that they're longer, proportionately longer limbs compared to other brown bear subspecies made them better for life on the plains, but grizzlies did evolve, and most of their historic range was actually on the Midwest. So historically, there were grizzly bears in like Nebraska, South Dakota, even into Kansas. So that's super interesting to me. But now they're confined to, obviously, like Canada, the northern states, and then Alaska, which is also a northern state. Now, okay, this is going to have a ton of forest in it. This is going to have a ton of forest in it, right? But if you head around here, you can see another... I think I did good with this. I think I did good with this wolf exhibit. I think that I don't know. I don't really like this area back here, but again, how else would I do it? As you can see, here's our keeper feeding our wolves. Now, these guys, if you haven't noticed, are the Arctic wolves. So, if you haven't been in the Planet Zoo community very long, the Planet Zoo base game actually came with the timber wolf, and that was a good decision. I mean, they could have done it better, because, like, timber wolves aren't actually a valid subspecies. They're just a bunch of different gray wolf subspecies combined under one name. So they should have chosen either Northwestern wolf or Eurasian wolf, because those are the two most common captivity. I can't talk. Maybe Mexican wolf, too. Maybe Mexican wolf. Anyways, in the Arctic pack, they gave us these guys, the Arctic wolves, which is really nice. Because the base game Timberwolf model was horrible. It had a lot of glitches, and it didn't even look like a real wolf. So I'm glad that we got a realistic looking wolf here, and I wish that the Arctic wolf was used more in replacement of the Timberwolf, just because the Timberwolf is not the greatest model ever. Like, to be honest, I think they just needed to get a wolf in the base game. Oh, look, standing on the rock, but I made this little den over here for them. I hope this looks good. And then as you can see here, I added these little protective fences here because we don't want any kids jumping over this and then getting mauled to death. That would not be fun. Now, I have noticed that the wolves are actually hanging out back here more than they are out front. So I might add something to give them more incentive to go out here. They do really like this thing. They do really like that, so that's great. Anyways, my plans for the future. Let's go. This area will have a Alaskan-themed restaurant a little bit. And then we'll go forward. You'll see the polar bear exhibit, right? then that'll be huge. There, I'm planning underwater viewing areas, possibly above ground viewing areas, of course. And then maybe like some sort of deck that you can watch the polar bears from up higher, and so you can see into another one of their yards. But I'm planning to go all out with the polar bears, and then I'll add a little splash park nearby there, themed around like the fjord area. And then I'll throw in, if I have enough room over here left, I'll throw in gray seals, because what is a proper Arctic section without pinnipeds? Of course, I love my pinnipeds. So look at this dude. Look at this dude. He's so adorable. Anyways, from there on, I'm planning to put Asia somewhere in here, and then the bulk of the zoo will be taken up by either just forest land for the native wildlife, with no human access, kind of like what the Bronx Zoo does, or just the rest of my African area, if that takes up that much room. But it doesn't look like it's going to, because my elephant exhibit is probably going to be the size of these three combined, maybe a little bit bigger, and that'll be the really bulky one there. Maybe the savannah exhibit with the giraffes and the zebras and all those guys will be a little bit bigger, but I think we'll have enough room to go around. But the African area will be over here. Then this little area down in here will eventually end up becoming the Australian section, if I have enough room. So I'll probably have koalas there, kangaroos, salties, something along those lines. And then those two areas will kind of meet. Well, the Australian area will go into the African area once it's done. Or maybe I'll provide like a bigger, longer path that takes you around in North America. But I'm planning to put my lions, all that sort of stuff over here in Africa. And then once those two intersect, I'll make a big Asian area up here somewhere. Tigers, Bactrian camels. I don't know if I'll get pandas. Snow leopards will be really nice. And then around this area, I won't have it connected to the African savanna directly, but around this area I will make my ape area, my African ape area. So everything from gorillas to chimps, maybe even bonobos. They aren't apes, but mandrills could work as well. I might add, I might make it an African forest and just add a copy. But who knows? Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye, y'all.